I got 2 million followers on TikTok. Well, 2.1 by posting every single day. All right. This is episode 2. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
If you guys haven't seen episode 1, make sure you tune back into episode 1. It was a doozy. What'd you think about it, George?
I thought we did well. I mean, the polls said otherwise, but Did you actually watch the video? That's the question.
I want to talk about the polls really quick because that's something that I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know there was a community tab in YouTube. I've never used it. And I figured out how to make polls on there.
I noticed that because you posted about 5 in a row.
Yeah, and I was experimenting. So
yeah,
we're going to talk about the first one where I just put out a poll that said, who loves the podcast? And I put 2 options, love and hate, right?
How many votes?
I forgot about it for a day.
Yeah.
I looked back, and I had 50,000 votes.
Oh, my God.
Granted, now it's at 72,000 votes. That's more subscribers than I have. So this is getting pushed out to people that aren't even subscribed to me or that don't even watch my videos, clearly by the votes.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at it. Right now, 72,000 people voted, right?
Mm-hmm.
26% said that they love the podcast. 74% said that they hate the podcast. And then we go into the comments and we read it a little bit further. People are saying that the algorithm of YouTube suggested this poll instead of any of my videos. So they've never seen my videos, and this poll just showed up on their recommended, which doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all. When you do a poll, can you go back and edit the poll and then add the link to the podcast? All these people are saying things. Can you go and add the link right now?
I think I can edit it. No, you can only delete. You can't edit a poll.
You can't edit a poll. I figured. Because they probably don't want you to change, you put something stupid down after they voted to make people look. Yeah.
And so one of the ones that was 2 days ago, and this guy, it says edited next to it. So I'm thinking he went back and edited his comment to make it more updated. He said, views on the podcast, ready? 1.2 thousand.
Yeah.
People voted 76,000. So he's a little bit off, but that time, only 1.2 thousand people, 1,200 people have seen the podcast, but 70,000 people voted on the polls, which doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
But the views started to go up.
They did, and I think the overall gist of the podcast is that it went well. I think so.
I think it went well, and also for all the people that know anything about sports, if we're playing baseball, 25%, it's not bad.
No,
25%, 250 batting average, we're doing all right.
300 gets you into the Hall of Fame, and
so I mean,
we're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost to the Hall of Fame.
26%, we're at a 260 batting average. That's not so bad.
It's not so bad, and we do have the #1 Tesla podcast in the world. So,
is there another one?
I mean, probably not. Maybe.
Well, if there's not, then
to be honest,
definitely #1.
If there is, does it exist? I'm not sure.
I don't know. Are we strictly Tesla?
I mean, I feel like Tesla talk is a broad range because, when we're in the Tesla, anything happens.
It's Tesla talk.
Anything goes. Yeah.
Talk while we're in a Tesla, videos about Teslas and stuff like that. But I don't think it has to be strictly Tesla.
No, I think it's current events on your social media too. I think that's part of our main focus is growing your social media. Also, I think this is a good opportunity for all of your followers to understand who you are,
who I am.
Because TikTok,
nobody knows who I am.
Yeah, I don't want to say there's no personal aspect to it, but there's much less of a personal aspect to TikTok versus this format.
I've got 2.1 million followers on TikTok. Let's just get that straight. I would go out there and say that less than 1% even know what my name is. Yeah,
because your name's not in your profile.
My name's not in there. I don't really show my face that often, so people wouldn't really recognize me.
Do people know your name based on your YouTube channel? Did you even say it in the beginning?
No.
We said it on the second podcast we're working on, but...
Yeah, no, my name's still not... I mean, that's something that...
So do you even exist?
No.
Wow.
Me as a person, I exist as jf.okay on social media.
I don't know if I should be afraid. I'm a little concerned.
Love it or hate it. That's who I am.
Does that mean I'm hearing things right now? I'm not sure.
Beats me. So speaking about the polls,
I'm looking at them.
I did a couple. So am I. I did a couple more polls just as a teaser. So this one says go check out the new podcast video. Right?
Yeah.
50,000 people. About 50,000 people voted. I gave a couple options. I gave #1 option, no, stupid. #2, yes, okay, I will. And #3. What's a podcast?
47,000 votes.
47,000 votes.
I have to vote to see the results, so I'm going to vote right now. But
71% said no, stupid.
I just voted what's a podcast, so
19% said what's a podcast, and only 11% said yes, we're going to go watch a new podcast video.
Well, technically 11% of 47,000 is like, it's like
4,000. It's 4,000-ish.
Oh, right. Not doing good math, but we've succeeded 11% of that number.
And then I did another podcast just to kind of like, just to mess with people, or another poll, sorry, not a podcast, that just says, go check out the new podcast video, and I linked it. It got 20,000 votes, so it's not doing as well, and I only gave 2 options here.
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
I gave 2 options of, I watched it 100 times, and I only watched it 25 times, so I didn't give people an option to say, no, I didn't watch it.
I see the percentages because I just voted.
So now this guy's comment had me crying. So this guy commented, use me as the, I watched it 0 times and don't care. So use his comment as the option to say I've watched it 0 times and I don't care. His comment has 275 likes.
Well, I was going to say our podcast first episode only has 224 likes. So currently his comment has more likes than our
His comment is more popular than our podcast.
I mean,
theoretically.
We're new.
We're learning, but I just thought it was funny. The polls thing is something.
Listen, the internet is a dangerous place, everybody.
Yeah,
don't get sucked into the vacuum of the internet.
You can't take what anybody says on the internet seriously.
No, because
the amount of hate that I've gotten on the internet just for posting videos is unreal.
Well, what would you do if you made a comment on someone's YouTube channel when you had little to no following and they had a decent following, especially a bigger following on another platform? What would you do when the first thing you do is, or when you make a negative comment, the first thing that happens is attention.
Right.
You would do it more often. So
his comment is getting more attention than he's ever had before.
But that's where it dies. That's the sad part. So if you're listening,
it's not that it bothers me.
If you're listening, no, it doesn't bother us because, I mean, it lives and dies in the comments.
If he clicked on that link, he would have watched the video and given us a view. So, take that, I guess. Trying to be mean, but in reality, you just help us out.
Also, why is he in the comments of your poll?
So apparently the poll got pushed out to a lot of people.
I know. We talked about it, but
I don't know why it would get pushed out to other people.
Yeah,
but
I like it.
It's kind of neat that it gets pushed out to people other than subscribers. I think that's a cool thing that YouTube does that I wasn't really aware of.
These polls have been more controversial than Donald Trump and.
Well, let's not get political with it.
Oh, wait, sorry about that. I've been working on that joke all week.
So, I recently ran across this YouTuber. And I want to show him to you, and I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's got the voice that everybody wishes they had.
I haven't heard about this guy.
Okay. This guy's name is Corpse Husband. Corpse Husband, like a dead body husband.
Yeah.
He's got like 6 million-ish subscribers on YouTube. I believe, I haven't done the research on it, but I believe he just started his channel this year and very, very recently.
What does he post?
From what I figured out, he posts like Among Us videos, the game Among Us.
So they're all are they streams that he's replaying?
No, it's almost like he plays with other celebrities.
So they record it off camera.
Yeah, they record it all off camera, and then it's posted on YouTube. But he shows all of his gameplay and like top plays and stuff like that. But you got to listen to his voice. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it for you.
Get it close to the microphone so I can hear it.
I got it pretty loud.
So I can hear it through the. Okay.
So I'm just gonna if you had this voice.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's the name itself. Sounds.
Corpse Husband sounds like dark.
Yeah. So
and you never so. I'm not gonna let you guys suffer anymore. I'm gonna play it for you really quick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
play
a little clip. Can you hear that?
Yeah. I hope we can turn that up in the editing.
I can get a little bit closer too, but he's got
in the editing process we can do that.
Deepest voice that I've ever heard.
That's creepy.
Radio channels would kill for him.
So you said that? Did you say that no one knows what he looks like?
Not that I found out.
We'll have to do some research. Let me do.
I've never seen a video of anybody seeing what he looks like, and people have speculated. But even on YouTube,
I just see
Corpse Husband face reveal. There's nothing.
Yeah, graphic images. People have made cartoons, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing that even reveals that anybody knows what he looks like. Which is it a voice changer? We don't know. That's the mystery, and I think that's why he's done so well. because it's speculation. He's got 6.64 million subscribers.
Wait, are these songs on here linked to him, or are these his songs?
I'm not so...
Corpse Husband
like way
songs.
back?
E-Girls Are Ruining My Life, because I've heard that song. I just don't...
So apparently...
Wait, it is his music.
Apparently I was wrong, okay? He's been on YouTube for 5 years.
Well, we're just discovering him.
I think he's just kind of blown up this year with his Among Us videos, because 3 months ago is when he started playing Among Us. 25 million. He's got 6 Among Us videos.
So he caught
25 million, 11 million, 23 million, 18 million, 9.5 million.
Yeah.
And then he's live right now, and there's 119,000 people watching it.
So he caught the Among Us wave, it sounds like.
He caught the aesthetic of playing Among Us, which is a very popular game right now, and having an amazing voice. Because he's now able to play a game that people can watch without seeing what you look like. Mm-hmm. And then having his voice on top of it just amplifies it.
Yeah, I'm so out of the gaming world, so it's interesting to hear.
So am I, but
yeah.
I came across this guy's voice, and it was amazing.
It is amazing.
It literally makes you want to watch his videos.
I think that you'll probably hear a lot more of that voice everywhere in the future.
You think it's a voice changer?
That was my first impression, but
mine too. But now listening to his thing, I mean, there's no cuts.
Maybe not.
It doesn't sound like there's any edits. It sounds like he's live when he's playing with other people. So I don't know if he sets up the voice changer. He's got a really good one.
Well, I did have a friend that used to have a voice changer on PlayStation.
Was it good?
Sort of, not really. I think that PlayStation allowed you to do that, though.
Okay.
I think there was a voice changer so you could protect your identity or whatever, which...
it could be.
It could be that, but that's too good.
It's good, right? And it's
too good.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'd like to find out. I'd like to talk to him, but I don't think it's going to ever happen.
Let's try to get him on the show. Let's make that a goal by the end of the year.
That would be kind of cool.
Just to call in. We don't need any faces.
A call in would be nuts.
A call in would be nuts.
Right?
Yeah. Let's see how big we can grow this thing, and then maybe he'll take interest.
I guess we can see.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about before we went on the air. We were talking about a few things that we wanted to fire at the audience here, and maybe this is where you can take over. We were talking about the ways to grow an audience.
Okay.
So this is the perfect precursor into that conversation we were having.
Okay.
So if we want to get this guy on the podcast, I mean, you know the secrets because you've already done this on TikTok. So why don't you tell
secrets to what do you mean, going viral or
no, not going viral? Growing an audience and keeping the attention of the people that are tuning in. So
gotcha.
We were just talking about how you did it.
This is how I did it.
Yeah, I want to know.
I got 2 million followers on TikTok. Well, 2.1 by posting every single day, multiple times a day. That's what I did. It started with one viral video and it spiraled and spiraled. But the thing is, I never went a day without posting. If you look, I have 1,100-ish videos in under a year. So that's almost 3 videos a day. You've got to post every single day.
Yeah, and I think that that's the key with anything. I think that's why you're so motivated and I'm so motivated with this podcast. It's fun, for one. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
But 2, I think consistency is going to win this game.
You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
Plus, you have to find a good time to post, too. Mm-hmm. In my experience, I've learned that if I post at 6 a.m., I'm not going to have a post do as good as I post at 9 p.m. This is Eastern time, obviously.
Mm-hmm. I think you mentioned that in the first episode.
Yeah,
I remember you saying that, but it's a good thing to reiterate. For those of you who missed the first episode, go back and check that out.
And there's a TikToker that I follow. His name is MMM I don't know how to pronounce it, okay? But it's MMM Joe Mele, Mele. He does this thing that I've noticed. He posts every day, every single day he posts, the same time every single day to a T. 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, he posts every single day. And his posts do millions on every post, no matter what he posts. He's got the most clever content, obviously. He's almost 11 million followers, but he posts every single day at the same exact time. So his followers are going to know that if it's 9:28, they're going to tune in and keep refreshing to make sure they see his newest video for hopes that they might get the first comment where they can say first, or they can comment first or like the first.
Yeah.
You know?
It just kind of goes back to the conversation we had about the polls and the negative comments. It's the same concept as when you draw a following and they start to understand your pattern, which it's not a pattern, his fans know he posts at 9:30.
Yep.
It's a known thing. The notoriety and getting that first comment is big in this generation.
When I post a video, the first 30 comments.
I was going to say it's quite a bit.
First. Everybody wants to fight for that.
I used to try to do that just to see if you would notice me.
Right.
Because it's hard for you to notice me anymore on TikTok.
It's hard. I try.
It's sad.
But
it's sad.
It was kind of the world's smallest violin.
I'm playing it for myself. Not often do people do that, but
yeah,
luckily I've got you here in real life. So.
That's what TikTok's come down to. Is a lot of the comments are first. Does he respond? That's
early,
a big one.
Early.
Yeah. Does he respond?
Because early is safer than first. You're probably not going to be first.
People want to respond. So a lot of people are going to be like, does the king respond? Does he respond? And like, that's tempting because I'm going to want to respond to every one of those, right? Because I want, he's calling me a king. And
I think next time you should do a response video where you get a throne and a crown and just say, yes, my son.
Yes, he does respond.
He does respond.
That'd be kind of neat.
That'd be funny. Actually, that reminds me, when we were watching Ryan Garcia fight over the weekend.
Yep, that was a good fight.
Came in on a throne.
Yes.
Came in on a throne with a crown on.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Smart.
Got his ass knocked on the ground. We can cut that if you want.
But he won.
Yeah.
In the end, he won.
Right.
But the thing is, he was so I think, is cocky the right word to say?
I don't think so.
He was Conor McGregor-ish, right?
I think he's backed it up over time. I was just saying the whole king comment reminded me that when you come in on a throne,
you better bring it.
You better bring it.
You can't come in on a throne and lose.
Which, honestly, he did get knocked to the canvas, but he got back up and ultimately
he won. His plan worked out, but I think even if it didn't, what do you think the headline of a lot of these articles is going to be the next day?
Well, something along the lines of the king has been
dethroned,
slayed.
Ryan Garcia comes in on a throne, gets knocked out.
A new king has been crowned, but I love it.
Even if he did lose, it works out in his favor because people are still going to be talking about the fight no matter what. But now there's something for them to talk about.
This is a social media guru right here.
That's what I'm saying. No matter what the outcome is, you have to have a plan.
Yeah, I mean,
for either outcome.
Either outcome, bad press, it's
good.
All press.
His press was going to be good.
Yeah.
His press could have been bad, but it still would have been good for him because people still would have been talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what his plan was. His plan was to be cocky and to back it up. But if he didn't back it up, there's...
Yeah. I mean, nonetheless, it was a great fight. And then in the aftermath of it all, I followed up a little on the post-fight conference and then some of the Twitter and Instagram posts he's made. There's a lot of mutual respect between Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. So
is there? I didn't follow up on anything.
After the fight, they took some pictures together and they were seen even like later. I don't know if it was the next day or even a few hours later, together chatting it up just a little. I think that's pretty good. They went back and forth. Fighting's an interesting thing because before you go in to fight somebody, you can't be their friend.
No, you can't.
No, because you're going to get knocked down, punched in the face.
No matter if he's your best friend or not, you have to hype yourself up before that fight and basically tell yourself you're going to try and kill this guy, theoretically.
Theoretically.
You can't go in there saying, I like this guy. I'm not going to hit him as hard as I want to.
And Mike Tyson was recently quoted saying something along the lines of he was always scared for every fight. So it's not even...
If you're not scared,
you have to.
You can't go in a fight and not be scared.
Yeah, there has to be that level of fear, and then also you're not friends before a fight. But
if you're not scared, you don't have that fight or flight mentality. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have that, like, oh shit, I could die. I could get beat up.
Your senses need to wake. Your senses need to wake up.
And you get that like rush of adrenaline. In your body, and I think that's what separates the good from the great. The good ones, they can't harness that adrenaline, and if you can harness the amount of extra power and energy you're going to get going into the ring,
right? Yeah. I mean, you've heard of some fighters say that they had an adrenaline dump.
Yeah, well, it's true.
So, yeah.
So,
transition here.
Let's transition in a little bit.
Yeah.
Something more on topic, I guess.
Well, it's fun to talk about some current things here and there.
It is, yeah. And I think that's going to separate from, the normal content that we have.
Yeah.
If you guys follow me on social media at all, you'll see that my car is not the same color as it was.
Yeah, so
it's changed.
What happened?
But if you see me in person or my car in person, you'll notice that, hey, that car doesn't really look like some of the videos that you posted.
That's true, but it's also been pretty cloudy here.
Dark,
yeah,
gloomy.
Yeah,
so my car was black, obviously, if you guys see any of the videos. I got a wrap done. And what a wrap is, it's not a paint job.
It's not a song either, right?
No, it's not. No. I mean, it could. No.
It's not a wrap?
It's the W wrap.
Oh, CI. Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
I got a wrap done, and it's a vinyl wrap, right? 3M sticky vinyl wrap.
Top of the line.
So what they do is they clean the entire car, wipe it all down. There's no dust. There's no particles or anything on it.
Yeah.
And they have these long sheets. Whatever length they are, 25, 40 foot, they cut them into segments, and they stick them onto your car. Might sound easy enough, but you've got to stretch this vinyl. You've got to heat it up, stretch it, and put it on the car.
That sounds like a really tough process, yeah.
The end finish is literally what looks like a paint job.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it looks great.
But
it looks like it's painted gray right now.
It does. So the vinyl wrap is going to protect it from rocks and stuff like that. It's also thicker than paint. It's just a thicker material that goes over the car that basically protects it, and you can change it to any color that you want. Now, I chose Gloss Flip Psychedelic.
Yeah.
Is what I chose. When it's dark, gloomy, no sun or anything, the car is gray, which looks good.
It's a good color. Yeah, it's a nice color gray.
It's a nice, kind of a subtle
matte
gray.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's in between like matte and shiny.
Yeah, it's not like a matte finish, but it's just that matte shade.
And even if you touch it, you never even know that it's like a wrap. It feels just like the regular car.
Yep.
Anyways, but you get it into the sunlight. And I know if you've seen some of the videos that I post, you get it into the sunlight.
I've seen it in real life.
And no matter which angle you look at it, it is a different color.
I know.
Some days it's purple. Some days it's green. Some days it's orange, red, yellow. Whatever it is, it's a different color from every single angle because the sunlight hits it at different angles. And the amount of sun you have affects it.
Mm-hmm.
So in a super sunny summer day, this thing's going to be shining. But right now in a winter day with no sun, it's gray, which is kind of cool.
It is cool. I was talking to someone here locally earlier today, and they mentioned, we were talking about average numbers or average days with sunlight, and we were talking about different areas. This area, he said, was somewhere around 140 days a year.
Out of 365.
Out of 365. So it's going to be gray like 60-something% of the time.
Majority of the time.
But, hey.
I wanted it to be super flashy.
Maybe we'll have to go on a road trip, and we'll follow the sun.
Wherever the sun's going?
Yeah. We'll just check the forecast in all the cities, and if it says it's sunny here, we'll just go to that one.
I wanted it to be super flashy.
Has anyone ever done that? I wonder.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
So I wanted it to be super flashy, right?
Yeah. Well, of course.
But now I'm really glad that it's not super, super flashy at all times.
Right.
Obviously, people are going to recognize the car, but it's not as like stand out, like, hey, look at me, as what I initially wanted it to be, but I like it.
That's kind of funny. That's just you. I mean, you like to stand out. We talked about that in the last episode. You're always looking for that next level, right? To separate yourself.
And I think that's why I bought a Tesla. I love the car from the beginning. Teslas from the beginning when they came out. I always wanted one, but I think when I first got mine, we mentioned this in the first podcast. Nobody else around here had one.
No.
I wanted to stand out a little bit without being too flashy and going with a $200,000 car that I couldn't afford. And that was buying a Model 3 that nobody had in town.
Right.
Now you see them everywhere.
Yeah, I saw probably 5 or 6 different Teslas today. But every time I see one, I think it's you.
Well,
not anymore. Not anymore.
No.
But at nighttime when the lights are coming up, a lot of the lights are similar. So as it's coming, I'm like, oh, never mind.
Tesla lights, they stand out. So
yeah, they do.
Tesla hit their goal for deliveries this year. 500,000 for the year.
That's big.
It's crazy.
That's nuts. And their stock's doing pretty well.
In 2020 total, they produced 509,000 Teslas, right?
Mm-hmm.
They sold 499,000. So they only have 10,000 left over for existing inventory that you can buy now. Out of the 500,000 that were sold, how many do you think were Model S and X? So the big sedan and the big SUV, the more expensive, the trademark Teslas, the more expensive Teslas, out of 500,000. Take a stab.
They're probably like 15% of the sales. 25, maybe a quarter of the sales.
10%. 11%.
10%. I went on the high end. I started at 15. Yeah.
Out of the 500,000, there were 57,000 deliveries of the Model S and X in the entire world.
Model 3?
Model 3 and Y, 442,000. That's nuts.
So if that doesn't say something to Tesla,
it shows what people actually want.
Well, it shows what they can afford.
Exactly. If you want a Model X, but you can't afford the $80,000 sticker price, you're going to get the Model Y.
Because you're going to still kind of feel like you're in an SUV.
You're in an SUV.
But not quite a
car.
SUV.
Yeah. But it's going to start at $50,000. You're going to be $30,000 cheaper, and most people don't want to pay $30,000 extra.
Just for a small difference.
I don't think the space is much different.
Yeah.
You get the Falcon Wing doors, boohoo, whatever.
Oh, yeah, boohoo, right?
They're cool, obviously,
they're cool.
but they're not $30,000 cool. Right?
Yeah.
There's some people maybe, but I don't think they are.
Depends what kind of tax bracket you're in, but...
Right. And then, so the Model S and the 3 are obviously, there's big differences.
Right.
But the Model 3 is the everyday affordable car. Mm-hmm. That's what people every day can afford. And most people still can't afford it because they're still pretty pricey, but if that shows you exactly what people want in a Tesla is they want the more affordable, the best bang for their buck.
Yeah. Well, I would argue that there's going to be, as Tesla develops, there's going to be a lot more opportunity for pre-owned Teslas as well. I mean,
well,
you would think.
You'd be surprised. So
people keep them.
Oh my God. No. People get the amount of used Teslas that are for sale on like Marketplace and like Craigslist and stuff like that. There's a lot. Not a whole lot compared to any other car, but there's a lot. A lot of them have like 5,000 miles. And the price is damn near close to a brand new price.
That's interesting.
For whatever reason, Teslas hold their value so crazy.
Maybe it has some, I don't know. We'd have to find that out.
So
it also goes to show that it doesn't take long for some people to not like the electric vehicle.
Right. I think what it is if you buy a Tesla, you get tax credits, right?
Yeah.
I think people say the Tesla's $50,000 done and clear, $50,000. You're going to get like $5,000 to $6,000 in tax credits back.
But you don't have to.
$44,000 is what you're into it.
Yeah.
What you're into it. That used one is selling for like $49,000. You can make a few $1,000s. You can actually make money on buying a car.
In theory, but who's checking? I mean, do you have to keep the vehicle?
No. You just get the tax credit for buying the vehicle. And then, so I looked this up because I was curious. Cybertruck, right?
Yep.
The new crazy vehicle that nobody knows when it's going to come out. They said it was going to be end of 2021. We're hoping it's still going to be that time, but it's probably going to be beginning of 2022. 500,000 2020 Teslas delivered, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many Cybertruck pre-orders do you think there were? Yeah, if you guys can see it, that's the Cybertruck. You probably can't see it that well.
You probably can't see it, but it's the thought that counts. Just go on Google.
Google it.
And type in Cybertruck.
Right now, go to Google.
And you will see something
open up
that's never been seen
Open up
before.
a second window and just type in Cybertruck. All right, you there? All right, good. Click it and look at this truck. Comment how many do you think there were ordered in 2020? Pre-ordered. Granted, you only need $100 down to order this. So most people can just say, screw it. Why not? If I don't want it later, I'll just cancel the order for $100. How many do you think were pre-ordered so far?
A lot.
500,000 regular Teslas were sold. How many pre-orders for a Cybertruck do you think there were?
I want to say the pre-orders like matched that number or something.
You'd be close. 650,000.
Oh, it exceeded. But I was wondering that myself.
Okay, so I was a little bit wrong here. That was in June.
Oh, it's gone up.
6 months ago.
Oh.
There were 650,000.
What's it now?
Give me a second, because
I'm definitely going to cut this part.
Well, take a guess at what you think. Most of these things are saying 650,000.
Still?
Yeah.
I would say it's probably $750,000.
I would say that it's probably closer to $1 million.
Yeah, right? I would say that too. But so I guess you know how it works because you pre-ordered one, but I was wondering myself, like you pay the $100.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, but then what happens? They don't just produce it because you've pre-ordered it.
No.
They have to know that you can pay for it, because putting $100 down is like...
So they took the $100 pre-order from everybody, and I think this is what they're going to do with it.
Okay.
Say there's 750,000.
Yeah.
$100 is $75 million, right?
Yeah.
That's how much money they raised just by talking about producing it.
Okay, so that was
they're going to use that. They're going to use that $75 million to help fund to produce this vehicle.
That makes sense. Interesting angle.
Vehicle nears production. That's when you can customize your Cybertruck, when it nears production. So when they're talking about, say, hey, 2 months from now we're beginning production, go in and now you can customize your truck.
Yeah.
Now if you're serious about it, you customize it and we're going to make it for you. Up until then, you can still cancel the order. You lose your $100.
But is that when they do some sort of a credit check or an income check, or
I'm going to assume so. I'm going to assume
available. Yeah,
that is your kind of like agreement to buy it.
That actually just reminded me of when we picked up the Model X.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit of a painstaking process.
It was terrible. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, if we're giving an honest review about that, it was awful. I was surprised. Everything seemed like it was done.
I'll be honest.
Ahead of time.
Buying a Tesla is the easiest process on the internet. You go on, you pick what you want, you pick the color, you pick the seats, you pick the options you want, and you're done. Click order. Boom. Getting the Tesla is the most difficult process. It's not difficult. It's just I had everything done online. We get to the showroom 5 hours away from where we live, right?
Yeah.
5 hours. We drove all day. And now they're telling me I need pay stubs. Now, granted, I already entered all this. I entered in my pay stubs. I entered in how much I make a year. I entered in all the info for me to get the loan on this Tesla.
Yeah.
And they need more when I get there.
Yeah, it just blew my mind.
They needed so much detailed information.
But then it all cleared again.
Yeah. How long were we there?
I feel like it was like 2 or 3 hours.
We were there a while.
It was a long time. We were there so long that we went and had lunch.
Yes. We left. Picked up lunch.
But we went and had lunch because we got there at like 10 in the morning or something, and we had already been there for a couple hours. Mm-hmm. And we were like, dang, like kind of hungry, been traveling all morning.
Kind of taking a while.
It's kind of taking a while. And they said, oh, it's still going to take some time. Yeah, go ahead and get lunch. We were like, oh.
I think, now Tesla has their own like registrations on hand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what takes them a while, because when I got my first one, it took a little bit too. I think it's because they're a one-man show delivering these Teslas. When I was there, they had probably 50 to deliver that day.
Mm-hmm.
Just show up, get into a queue, you know?
Well, that's an interesting thing too for people that don't know how Teslas work. When you go and test drive one, you can order one there, but you order it on a computer there, right?
You can't go to a Tesla dealership and buy and say that car right there.
Right. You can't drive it off the lot.
No. You can go up and say, I want to test drive. I want to test drive this SUV, this Model X.
Yeah.
And they say, sure, here are the keys, go. They don't even come with you. That's the weird thing. I've seen Tesla, they just throw you a key. They don't give you a key, but they just give you access to the car. On an app, they give you access to the car, and you just drive away. You got 30 minutes. Go where you want. Test drive.
They know where you're at, though.
They know where you're at. They know how fast you're going. They track you.
And with that kind of a vehicle, they can probably shut it down if they really want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you can't go there and buy that vehicle. You take it back and you're like, you know what? I like this vehicle. I like this little bit of miles on it. Give me a little discount.
No. But then you can order it there.
So all they do, the salesman, they walk you to a computer.
And you do the same thing
and
you do at home.
they walk you through the same thing you can do at home, ordering a Tesla. Some of them, they can come in like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If you go like existing inventory, which are ones that are already made, that I think, this is my theory, I think people pre-ordered it, customized it, and then just backed out. So the vehicle's already made.
Yeah.
So I think those are ones you can get on there and you can get like now being like a week or two. Otherwise, you're like 4 to 8 weeks out, because they've got to build your vehicle, customize it to you, and then send it over and everything. And it can take a while. If you buy used inventory, it can take even just as long, just because they got to ship it from California to New York. And they stall with the process. It's not, I don't know. It's a good process, but it's slow.
It makes me wonder, for someone who works at a Tesla dealership, and maybe one of you listening does that. I know it's a personal question, but it makes me wonder if that's the process for ordering vehicles. What's like the motivation for working as a car sales rep?
Are you a salesman if you work there?
That's what I'm wondering. Are you just paid a salary or an hourly wage? Like, there's no motivation. There's no. Is there commission?
Right.
But that wouldn't even make sense. Is there a commission on the location? Well, the locations are like
they're small,
and they're also so random though. Like, we had to drive 5 hours.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like what's nearest to you, or is it just like basically how does Tesla do? for an entire year, and then they divvy it up and give bonuses. I'm just curious to know.
I'd like to know that as well, because
I just want to know more about the company.
I would, yeah, they're so mysterious.
They really are.
There's a lot that they don't.
The warehouse we went to, like you said, it was small, but like it was also like just a fenced-in area. And
it was a little fenced-in,
random spot. Yeah. No advertisement, really.
No, there's like one sign on the side, and then you just see a bunch of Teslas everywhere. But that's not where they even store them. They have like another warehouse like miles away,
right?
Where they store these Teslas, and they're like, "Oh, I got to go get it for you." And,
huh? Yeah, it wasn't even there.
They come back like 20 minutes later.
They reappear from down the road. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, would I do it again?
Yeah,
100%.
I'm gonna
because I love the vehicle.
I'm gonna do it.
You need to.
Yeah,
I've been trying to tell you for
we'll both do it again
for weeks to get a Tesla, but I think
we
need to wait for the Cybertruck,
and I think we vlog it too. I think we bring the podcast along. Yep. And we vlog it this time.
I like it
because it was a fun trip. There were a lot of cool views, and
it's a cool trip. And where we went to was awesome. You know, it was a great scenic area. I'm not trying to bash Tesla by any means, but
no,
their process could use some help.
Well, we had one more issue that day too. The wing door was having some sensor issues. Remember that? We tried to do the Christmas celebration in the mall parking lot.
We get all the way back home, 5 hours back home, and my back door won't even open.
Yeah,
it senses that there's something near it, so it won't even open. I had to reset the car multiple times, call Tesla. They put me on hold, and eventually it just randomly worked.
Did we go to a car wash or something that day? I don't remember what happened. But we went in and out of somewhere, and then randomly,
and then it just stopped.
Magically worked again.
It just for whatever reason,
and it's never not worked. It's never not worked.
It's never done that again.
Yeah, it's so
I don't
strange.
know what went on.
Maybe it was upset that it was sold.
Hey, new owner.
Or it knew that it was going to be seen by so many people, and it's self-conscious.
It was a little bit shy. It was camera shy. It didn't want to open up its wings.
It's possible. Hey,
you never know.
Tesla vehicles might have feelings.
But Tesla services, everybody knows this is not the greatest. They're not the greatest with service, but I'm not going to bash them because their vehicles are amazing.
They're also kind of a newer company, too.
They're brand new. They're 12 years old.
They're not quite sure. I mean, I recently worked for a company where there's a new system that they're using for a new position that only existed starting last year. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of kinks in it. But you have to think like, they just started using it a year ago. So it takes time.
Everything is brand new. Ford didn't come out steamrolling hot in whatever the 1910.
Yeah.
You know, there's King. They're 12 years old. They brought out their Roadster in 2008. Obviously, there were more cars. Like, they didn't build cars before that, but Tesla was a brand before that. But in 2008 is when they came out with their Roadster. And everybody knows in 2012 when they came out with the Model S, their cars were catching on fire.
Yeah.
Literally, driving down the road, they were on fire. Breathing fire. And that's why, at one point, Tesla stock nosedived in 2012.
I think that was when they put car extinguishers.
Yes, in their cars. And then they eventually got it figured out.
Yeah.
For whatever the little kink, the little recall was, but they got it figured out, and now they're amazing.
Yeah.
You look at the Tesla crashes compared to any other car crash. There's not even close to as many.
No.
Especially on autopilot on the highway, it's amazing. If you haven't ridden in one, that's why they give you these test drives, and they give a test drive to anybody who wants it for 30 minutes by yourself because they know once you step into this car, you are going to buy it.
The first time I was ever in yours, the thing that I recall as being the craziest thing, well, there were two things because there's always multiple things in my brain. One was the amount of like G-force or like the get-up speed. I couldn't believe what it felt like to just...
It sets you right back.
Yeah.
Immediately.
You're just drawn right to the back of the seat. And then the other thing that I couldn't wrap my mind around was how quiet it was at a high speed. Mm-hmm. Like the acceleration process, you don't hear anything. So I think that's part of the reason why you don't expect what you feel.
Right. And so when you're in a regular car and you go to punch it, right? You hear the engine wind up, you hear the RPMs shoot up, and then you go. So you're expecting it. In a Tesla, as soon as you touch that gas pedal, it's gone.
It's like 20 miles per hour and 80 or
it's
the same thing in terms of what you hear.
In Teslas, from like 80 miles an hour and up, they're not that fast. They're a regular car. From 0 to 80, there's no car like it. The amount of speed that you have, the instant torque.
Yeah.
There's no engine whine. There's no need to wind up. It is one gear, always 100% torque.
I love it.
And it's not like there's no sound. It's like a whistle. It's a spaceship vacuum whistle that you're going through.
Yeah, there is a sound. It's not. I guess what I would say is it's not what you expect from a vehicle, a motor vehicle, because there's no longer a motor.
I know a lot of people were complaining about like road noise in the Tesla. Like, oh my God, I can hear the tires. The road noise is terrible. All I hear is wind and tires. Yeah, because you don't have an engine. When you take out that engine noise when you're driving, sure, you're going to hear tires hitting the road because you're going 80 miles an hour. You're going to hear the wind because the wind's coming at you 80 miles an hour.
Newsflash, why don't you turn your radio on?
Some people, I swear. They want to complain
radio,
about
this thing, you can put Spotify, Apple Music, all of those things.
You can't do Apple Music yet. No, you have Spotify. You have something called TuneIn.
Oh, no.
Spotify, TuneIn. And then you have Tesla's streaming service, which is like their own streaming service for music. Awesome. That's all I listen to. I don't even connect my phone for music.
That's great.
Because the streaming service is so good.
Wow. So no Apple Music.
Not yet. I think it's coming.
It doesn't make a difference. It's all the same.
But hey, you can watch Netflix.
When you're driving or just when you're parked?
When you're parked. So it's good when you're charging. But, I mean, who thinks of that? Like, there's a whoopee cushion in the car.
Yeah.
I can make anybody in the car fart on command.
I know. That's funny.
Fart.
I know.
And now the new one is a boombox feature, right? Somebody asked Elon on Twitter, like, hey, can we get other noises for the horn? It'd be kind of funny. Elon, he responded, he's like, yeah, sure.
Sure.
So you know what he did?
What?
There's like, 15 presets for horns. Like a goat noise, a cow mooing, anything. And then you can upload your own custom sounds.
That's crazy.
You can do any sound you download from your computer onto this flash drive and you plug it in. You can have music playing out of the external speakers of the car every time you hit the horn.
Back to that goat sound. When you hit the the wheel, does it go jf.okay? Or
it can.
Not that type of goat.
That's clever. I like that one. So yeah, it's whenever you hit the wheel, it gives that impression.
You need to try that if you can.
I don't have it. My Tesla doesn't have the external speaker.
So when you get the Cybertruck,
it's only like 2020 models and above that has that.
Okay,
the brand new
the
August or later.
So the peasants.
Yeah, I know. I couldn't afford the boombox.
The peasants don't get the boombox.
Only the lucky brand new people.
Wow.
I would pay to have it though. It's cool.
Maybe we should tweet Elon and say a couple things.
Hey,
one,
give me an external speaker.
I'm always a two-part person. One, give me an external speaker, but two, maybe give me a 2020 model for all the free advertising. Tesla, you owe me money.
Tell me about it.
But we're not salty about it.
No.
We actually don't.
I appreciate.
We don't think they owe him money.
I don't think they owe me anything.
We think that.
I just think that, hey, maybe
a partnership would be something special.
A partnership would, hey, you know what?
I think it's about time. I mean,
toss me a card.
How many times did you have to tweet at the guy and he still hasn't responded?
I gave up. I deleted Twitter. I gave up.
I know.
Because he didn't respond. It's tough to get a hold of him. No one's ever going to get a hold of him intentionally tweeting at him or messaging him. But
no offense, but did you see what he named his kid?
XAE. Was it B12?
I don't remember. All I'm saying is, how the hell do you get a hold of a guy that comes up with that for a name?
He is a wild
I bet he doesn't even use a cell phone. I bet he has the next thing.
Who knows?
He probably just thinks and it goes to people.
Hey, Elon, that's Elon for you.
We'll have him on the podcast eventually.
If we could get him on the podcast.
At least maybe for a call-in. We're always into call-ins.
If you
can't make it here, you know what? Actually, scratch that. If you can't make it here, we'll come to him. We'll bring all of the equipment to him.
I will go anywhere in the world, anywhere on a dime. You tell me, hey, Elon wants to talk to you in San Juan, Puerto Rico, tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
You'll be there.
Be like, hey, if I leave right now, I can get there at 4:45. Gone.
It's not a joke either. You will be there.
100%. 100. The amount that I would do, what I would do to be able to sit down for an hour with the guy.
Yeah.
Pick his brain, the second richest man in the world, and not even about money. How smart you have to be the second richest man in the world.
Yeah.
To pick his brain for a little bit. Be incredible.
If that ever happens, is there any chance you can ask him to bring one of his extra flamethrowers for me?
I want one of the flamethrowers.
So maybe bring two?
I tried to get my hands on one when they came out a couple of years ago.
So difficult. It's like getting a PS5 nowadays.
You can't get them.
We tried.
And now you want to get them? Sure, you can buy them on eBay. Double, triple the price. You know how much the flamethrower costs on eBay? It's like $2,500. The original cost was like, what, $500?
Yeah, that's how we ended up here. We didn't get the PS5, so we don't have anything else to do.
It's crazy that when things, and the same thing with the the tequila. Remember when they sold that lightning bolt bottle?
What was up with that? Because you tried to order it, I tried to order it, and
so you can't order alcohol online in some states, and New York is one of those states.
So it didn't matter that I was trying to mail it to Pennsylvania because I was ordering it from New York. Do you think, or is Pennsylvania not allowed either?
I don't know. It might not be allowed either. There's only certain states that you can order and like ship alcohol.
Yeah,
and they still have to verify your age when it gets there. But that stuff was what, $250 for a bottle?
Yeah, and it went like that
quick. And now they're like $2,000-$3,000 online for an empty bottle because like eBay, you can't sell alcohol. So they empty out the bottle.
Yeah, but who would ever buy an empty bottle? What's the point in that?
I want it. You want the bottle. The bottle it's like buying the flamethrower. You keep it just for memories.
For memories, I think you keep it to burn shit. Personally.
Yeah, if you have a flamethrower, but like the bottle is just like it's a trophy. The way it's shaped, it's like a lightning bolt bottle that goes up on this little modern stand. It's exactly what you'd expect from Tesla.
Maybe one day someone will have stashed one away. Maybe it'll be worth $10,000, but maybe by then $10,000 will be like whatever
pennies,
and we'll have one for the show.
Imagine if we had one right here,
and we'll test it on the show, here. So everybody knows.
I don't even want to try it because tequila is tequila to me.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I would try it, but like having the bottle right here or having the bottle somewhere in the studio to have, it's just like it's the same thing with having like the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to shoot shit and burn shit, but I also just want to hold it and look at it and,
Yeah. Yeah. Insane.
It's wild. All right, what do you think? Want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty spot to end. I think that's a pretty good second episode.
Yeah.
I think if you like this, you should definitely subscribe to the channel.
If you haven't already,
definitely if you haven't already,
like the video and comment.
And go back and check out the first one too if you missed that.
If you definitely have not seen the first episode, you need to go back and watch that before this one. Watch them in order.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe. That'd be very helpful, right?
Yeah.
And share it to anybody that wants to see it because this is...
And make sure you let us know what we're doing good and when we're not doing good.
And maybe I'll put up another poll so you guys can rip on me.
Yeah, and if you take the next poll, make sure you watch the video before you even vote.
They're not going to.
But we're watching now. We know.
Yeah. So. All
right, it's perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's good. Solid 40.